Welcome to Sovereign CEO. This is where we discuss your freedom, your life, freedom in your life, location independent income through your own location independent, low work, high income, high margin business that you can run from anywhere in the world from your laptop. It doesn't matter where you go or what you do, the money keeps coming in no matter what. And if you want an international-based lifestyle or a Five Flags-based lifestyle, at a bare minimum, an international plan B, somewhere to go if and when, in most cases, when you're collapsing authoritarian, left-wing, quasi-socialist, quasi-authoritarian, I just said authoritarian and quasi-authoritarian, country goes under, which will occur in your lifetime, especially if you live in the collapsing trifecta, which would be the United States, Canada, and Europe. Or doing full Five Flags where you're like moving out of the country and you're internationalizing your life and you're offshoring your business and all that good stuff. So before we get to the topic today, we're actually going to be discussing someone who is pretty big in the Bitcoin world. I just checked the Bitcoin price. Actually, let's check it again, shall we? Hang on. What is Bitcoin at? 42,000? Bitcoin price. As of this recording, Bitcoin is at, so this is what, 11 a.m. EST on January 15th. All right. Okay. 42,660 price per Bitcoin. That is not its lifetime high. But those of you who remember, who have been watching my videos for a while, back in 2020 or 21, was this 20 or 21? 21. August of 2021, shortly after I moved to Dubai, I did something that confused many of you, and that is that I took a bunch of my gold coins. I still own a lot of gold, but I took a lot of my gold and I sold my gold and bought a bunch of Bitcoin. And I did this after Bitcoin had crashed. And a lot of you are like, why are you doing that? Bitcoin sucks now. Why are you buying Bitcoin? That's when you buy it. You buy things when they suck. You don't buy things when they're on the way up and everyone's excited about them. That's when you don't buy. That's dumb. You buy them after they've collapsed and everyone hates them. I've done this several times now with Bitcoin, at least 3 times now. And if you can go watch the video, it's on this channel, Sovereign CEO, or this YouTube channel. And I purchased a bunch of Bitcoin for around $20,000 per Bitcoin. And now it's at 42,000. There you go. So if you thought I was strange back then, how you like me now? How you like me now? And it's not done going up. It's going to go past 42,000. This will be the 3rd or 4th time I've made a big pile of money in Bitcoin. I've not sold my Bitcoin yet, but I will. What I've done 3 times now, 3 or 4, I've lost track, is that I buy a bunch when it sucks. I wait till it gets really big. I sell it when everyone's still buying it. I make a big pile of money. I keep about 5 or 10% in there, and then it crashes. Then everyone goes, oh, Bitcoin sucks. And then when it crashes, I buy some again, and I wait again, and then rinse and repeat. So I've done that 4 times. Matter of fact, the apartment that I had to walk through in Dubai in 2021 was paid for by my Bitcoin profits when I bought in at, what was it, 17? I don't remember the numbers now. What did I buy at? 17,000, and I sold at 51,000. Woo! So, I mean, you know, here you go. So just be aware when it comes, I mean, I'm not an investing guru and that's not my topic area, but I've talked about this in my blogs. I have never lost money in my investment portfolio in any given calendar year in my entire life. There is no other man I know at any net worth or income level who can say that. Most people have lost money several times. I've never lost money. Now, there have been years I've only made 1 or 2 or 3%. That's happened, but I've never lost money. I've never had a negative return in my finances. In 2020, again, if you read my blogs, the articles are all still there. I made 142% or 141% return on my investment portfolio for 2020, the year that everyone hated, everyone thought was horrible, which was one of the best years of my life. So there you go. I did that, by the way, by not without owning any American stocks. I own no American stocks. Kilo, what stocks you have? I have a few stocks, none of them American. I don't own any American stocks, and I never will for the rest of my life. America's collapsing. Why would I buy their stock market? The stock market's overpriced. Why would I buy into something overpriced in a collapsing economy? That's stupid. So I own another thing like Bitcoin. But there you go. Should I answer some questions? Did you follow the Bitcoin ETF approval by the SEC? I have not. I have not had a lot of time to follow the news lately. So very cool. Good. That was bound to happen. That's another reason Bitcoin's going to take off this year. Yes. Are free zones subject to some same regulations as the mainland? No, they're not. Dubai's anti-usury laws for private lending are insane. They are not, but I can't speak to anti-usury laws. But no, they are different. They are a different set of laws. You're talking about UAE. How do you deal with chargeback and Stripe account bans? I don't get my accounts banned, and I don't have a lot of chargebacks because I'm honest. I've never been banned for Stripe, so I couldn't tell you. If you get banned for Stripe or PayPal or whatever, then you didn't hear this from me. You start another LLC and you sign up that way. You sign up again under a different LLC. That's what people do. Not a big deal. What else we got here? We'll start the content in a few minutes. I wonder if one day in the future it will be possible for an A 2.0 to become a billionaire. Since a long time ago, billionaires didn't exist. Well, you will violate Alpha 2.0 business models once you get up to about $1.5 million a year in revenue, and you want to keep going, you're going to have to violate some of the Alpha 2.0 business structures. That's the way it goes. So, I mean, technically, I guess that wouldn't be possible if you're a billionaire, but who knows? Was there a permanent shift in the 2 YouTube channels per weekly live streams to only 1 topic per live stream? Yeah, I really missed the 2 topics per live stream format. Sorry, you get 1 now. Sometimes you get 2. It depends on how I feel. This is, as I've said 10,000 times, this is what you get for free. You want more than 1 topic, you got to give me money and buy books or courses or things like that. 11 ETFs by the largest investment company got approved. Next up is Bitcoin halving. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Bitcoin's going to be halving, folks, in about 3 months. 2024 is going to be very interesting. Plus, 2024, there may be some more recessions coming too. So that usually helps Bitcoin. So, yeah. How to reduce taxes on investment returns. You move to Dubai where there's no capital gains tax. That's what you do. You move to a country with little or no capital gains tax. Otherwise, you got to buy expensive trusts and shelters and all that crap. So as usual, the answer is 5 flags. The answer to so many questions I get is 5 flags. Caleb, what about the Great Reset? 5 flags. Then it doesn't matter. What if I get divorced and she takes half my money? 5 flags. Don't marry her in a Western country. I mean, it's just 5 flags is the answer for so many problems and so many concerns you guys have. That's how it goes. You know? Can I hold a full-time job in the collapsing West, but pay taxes in Dubai with residency there? No, you cannot. If you sit in the United States, you pay taxes where you reside. So if you reside in the United States, you're going to pay tax in the United States. You can save a little depending on, as an employee, probably not. No. As a job, no. That's the other thing. If you have a job, there are no tax benefits for people having a job. 98% of all tax law is written for self-employed business owners. Only 2% is for employees, which means employees get screwed when it comes to paying taxes. This is why you shouldn't have a job. Having a job is not the path to success or happiness in the collapsing 2020s and 30s, the era in which we live. You got to chuck your job as fast as possible, get your own location-dependent business like we talk about here at Sovereign CEO. SEC botched the approval in a hilarious way. I'm shocked that the SEC got fucked up. I'm shocked big government screwed up. That never happens. Like it was a comedy stunt. I'm shocked. One of my favorite moments is when Obama came out with Obamacare and the Obamacare website crashed and was down for weeks and no one could sign up and people screamed bloody murder. He was pumping up this website. Go to Obamacare.com, whatever it was. AffordableCareAct.com or whatever the hell it was, right? And finally, I actually linked to his video on my blogs at the time. And he's basically like, well, yeah, of course it crashed. It's the government. We're the government. We suck. That's basically what he said. Yeah, of course it crashed. Of course, there's all kinds of problems. We're government. We don't do things right like the private sector does. We're government. We fuck everything up. He literally said it. Isn't that nice? The microphone's kind of like in my face, isn't it? Let's put it down a little bit. There we go. I'm trying to put the microphone in front of my face because I move around when I talk a lot. And so if the microphone's to the side, I do this and I talk over here. You can't hear it. So I decided to put it in front of my face like a professional podcaster, which I am not. And I have a podcast. This is a podcast, but that way it'll force me to like not move, right? I was, We'll get started in 1 more minute. I was meeting some people here in Dubai, had breakfast with some people, and some of the people I knew, some of the people I didn't. And there was a woman, older woman from Ukraine, of all places, and she did not speak English. And at the end, when I left, she asked the other people who spoke Russian. I was the only American sitting at the table because I live in Dubai. There are no Americans here. They're all sitting there collapsing and being furious about, wokeism and Trump. And so she said to the other people, they told me afterwards, that American, why is he like an Italian? Why is he so emotional and expressive? Are all Americans like that? And someone said, yeah, kind of. I said, well, I am Sicilian, 60% or whatever it is. So, everything is falling apart in the U.S. Correct. So I'm not there. How is Pink Firefly doing? Pink Firefly just started a brand new business project today. She's in Phoenix right now. I was just texting her. She's very nervous. She hates change. And so she's nervous today, but she's doing good. She's a little nervous. Can't wait to see her again ASAP. All right, one more question. What's the best country to raise kids in terms of education, safety, and general people relationships? There are several of them. Here's one of them, Dubai. Dubai. Safe, no wokeism, one of the best schools in the world, all that stuff. Dubai. People raising kids here in Dubai are very, very, very happy. It's shocking for me as an American to live in a country where the parents talk about how great the schools are, because you just don't hear that in America, even with kids who go to private schools in the United States. Because I've said this, private schools in the U.S. suck just as bad, almost as bad as public schools. If you live in the collapsing Western world, you got to homeschool your kids, or else don't have kids. That's just the way it goes. So there you go. All right, let's get to the topic here. As we are 12 minutes in. Jesus, Caleb, hurry up. One of my favorite people in the world right now, and has been for a few years, that's someone I've been following very carefully, is a man named Michael Saylor. A lot of you know who he is. A lot of you don't know who he is. He is a business genius entrepreneur. He is a self-made he's not a multi-billionaire, but he's a billionaire worth about what? 1.4 billion, something like that. Self-made guy. He owns a company called Microsystems. He's a genius. He's one of these business geniuses like Elon Musk. He's one of these rare, unique individuals that has a engineer nerd brain plus is good at business, like Elon Musk and like Bill Gates. Usually, as I talk about many times, statistically, guys with really smart genius brains and engineering nerdy types don't make very much money. I've talked about in detail in other contexts, Lissigs. But anyway, one of the things he's done is, in addition to growing this company that's been very successful, leaning heavily into AI and cryptocurrency and things like that, he has bought, his company is unique in the world in that it is based around Bitcoin. So his company has bought hundreds of millions of dollars in Bitcoin for their cash reserves. He himself has bought a bunch of Bitcoin. And I believe last time I checked on this was, yes, he is now the chairman of MicroStrategy. That's correct. Michael Saylor plus his business, I don't know what the dividing line is. I believe last time I looked at this, it may have changed now, owns literally something like 1% of all the Bitcoin in the world. Insane. He has doubled, triple, quadrupled down on Bitcoin. He's on podcasts all the time. You can watch him on YouTube. And these long things about how Bitcoin is the number one asset in the world. And, and he's not wrong. Bitcoin's made me very happy, made me a lot of money. So, hey, great. I saw a brief clip of him. It was probably on Instagram or something. I don't spend a lot of time on social media other than watching YouTube videos. But it was this brief clip. It was like, you could find it somewhere. I'm not sure where it is. What are the clips called on Instagram? You see how old I am? I don't know this stuff. Reels. It was a reel, I think. It wasn't TikTok. It's probably on TikTok too. And a podcaster asked him, what are your top 10 tips for success? If you could narrow it down to 10. And he just rattles off, he's a genius, business genius. Off the top of his head, he just rattles off 10 things that are all perfect. Usually when I hear this from people, from successful people, what are your top 5 things for success, or top 10 or top 3? They suck. They're stupid. They're usually like, do what you love and follow your passion and, and invest. And it's all a bunch of bullshit societal programming that doesn't work or used to work, but doesn't anymore. In this case, all 10 of these things were like genius and perfect, and they're exactly accurate. And I agree with all of them. And the way he communicates, I'm looking at them right now. I'll go through all 10. 9 out of the 10 were 3 words. So he can state them in 3 words. So number 1's 3 words. Number 2's 3 words. 3 words, 3 words. Number 9 is 4 words. All the rest are 3 words. So 10 things, 3 words each, that encapsulate all kinds of things that I have talked about. I agree 100%. I'm going to go through each 10 and give you the sovereign CEO and maybe a little Alpha 2.0 spin or version of what he's talking about, because this is a guy, again, I like a lot. And that's a very small list of people in the earth, people who are famous, internet famous people who I think are really great. Boy, is that a small list. Not very many, because most people who are famous on the internet I don't like, or I just tolerate, or like, whatever. And, so I've talked about various people before, right? So I'm going to go through all 10 and discuss why these are things you should do. I mean, it's awesome. I reread this morning, getting ready for this live stream / podcast. I'm like, this is so good. God damn. All right. They're listed in no particular order. It's a random order. Okay. Number 1, focus your energy. So I talk about when you start a business, for example, you do not try to do 10 different products or 3 different products or several different niches. Or when I talk about owning 2 to 4 small businesses, which is Alpha 2.0 business model, when I talk about this stuff, I talk about doing one thing at a time. You start one business first with a we talk about this in the 90-day business builder. One business, narrow niche, one product or service or offering or information, high margin. That's it. Get that started first. A lot of guys want to do this and this and this and this. They see Grant Cardone, all this stuff. They go, I want to be like him. Or they see, in fairness, they see me. Caleb, you've got like 47 things. And okay, but I've been doing this a long goddamn time. But I've been an entrepreneur for almost 30 years, self-employed for almost 30 years. Doing business on the internet companies since 2009. So 17 years, whatever that is. No, 18, whatever the number of the years that is. Okay. So I've been at this for a while, but I do these things one at a time. I also talk about the rule of 2, where if you have several areas in your life you want to improve, you want to lose weight, you want to start a business, you get your black belt, you want to get good with women or meet your girlfriend or whatever, right? That's 5 things. You can't do all 5 of those things. Caleb, how do I do all 5 of those things? The answer is you can't, sweetheart. You got to pick 1 or 2, max 2. A really good book on this, one I've recommended for a long time, is Zen Habits by Leo Babauta. And he talks about this, the rule of 2, where you have 5, 6, 7 areas in your life you want to improve. And we're all like this. I've got them. I've got a whole bunch of areas in my life I want to improve. Are you kidding? Dude. And I've been at this way longer than most of you. Okay. I only work on 2 at a time. Matter of fact, just in the last 2 weeks, I've had to cut off some things in my life, in my personal life, that were taking my daily time, including some exercise stuff and some other stuff, because I wasn't getting stuff done in my business. And I got to focus on that first for a while. And for a while means as soon as you get to equilibrium in that area, then you add another one. Okay. So you only focus on 2 improvement areas at a time. Focus. 1 is better than 2. You hit 3 and now you're not going to accomplish any of those 3 things. Focus. You've got to focus. You can't go off doing 27 different things. And the younger you are or the higher testosterone you have, the more things you're going to want to do. And by the way, this applies to women as well. There are high testosterone women. There are. The more things you're going to want to do with your life and the more areas you want to improve, which means the less you'll get done. My son likes to say this all the time. The rabbit that chases the wolf that chases 4 rabbits catches none. Something like that. I'm butchering the thing. Focus. 1 or 2 things at a time. Everything else goes on temporary pause. You pause it temporarily. You say, I'll get to you in a minute. I'll get to you in 6 months. I'll get to you in 3 months. I have an upcoming live stream about the next set of things I'm doing to make 2024 the best year of my entire life. We'll be talking about that. Okay, about focusing on quarters and things like that. Focus. He's right. Number 2, guard your time. Yeah. If you are working and your phone is not muted and behind you or in another room, you are not guarding your time. When I do focused work, I take that phone, I'm looking at it right now because I use it as my camera. I put it on silent and I put it behind me. I'd put it down here. There's a shelf down here. You can't see it. And then I work. If you're not doing that, you're not guarding your time. If you work from home and you live with other human beings and you let them just come in and bug you or interrupt you, including your mother, hang on one second, including if this person is your mom, your dad, your live-in girlfriend, your wife, or your children, none of those people have the right to interrupt your time. So right now, I'm not living with my wife. We're doing a long distance thing temporarily. But under normal conditions, when we're living together, we've been living together for many, 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 many years. I would have, you can ask her all about it. Matter of fact, I think we talked about this on some of the live streams or the videos that her and I have done on my other channel. I have do not disturb time. That means, so a few months ago when she was here, it was from 4, let's see, what was it? No. 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., do not disturb. That means Pink Firefly, sweetheart, I love you to death. You are not allowed to bother me unless someone is bleeding or dying. If someone is bleeding or dying, then you can bother me between the hours of 10 to 4. Before 10, you can bug me. After 4 p.m., you can bug me during my work. Other than that, you don't bug me. You do not bug me. Most of you don't have the balls to say that to the people you live with. If you're not doing that, you are not guarding your time. If you regularly kind of pop over to social media as you're working, you're on a little break. So here's something. You're on a little break. You go to YouTube, you watch some YouTube videos, then you look like, oh my God, it's been 90 minutes. You are not guarding your time. As I talk about in my primary book, The Unchained Man, which is the new version is coming out very quickly. As I talk about there, the only resource you have, this is why he said this is why this is the second thing he said. The only resource you have in your life that is not renewable is time. That's why I shifted many years ago from being an IT consultant to a time management consultant. It's pretty good. I'm pretty good at managing my time. Time is the only resource where once you lose it, once you lose today, you're never getting today back ever again. If you're 32 years old and it's January 14th, 2024, at the end of that day is gone. You're never getting that day back. Doesn't matter if you're a multi-billionaire. You're never getting that day back. Sorry. Yes, you can leverage your time, hire people, extend your life. I do all those things. But you never get that time back. Everything else you get back. If you lose money, you can make it back. I've had several points in my life where I've lost money. I made it all back. Okay. If you lose friends, you can make new friends. You can. People don't like to say that, but it's true. If you get divorced, you lose your spouse. Guess what? What do most people do? They marry another spouse. Everybody is replaceable. Everything is replaceable. You have some kids that turn out to be assholes. If you're a man, and often if you're a woman, you can have more kids. You can always make more of anything except time. You've got to guard your time. One of my mentors, Dan Kennedy, one of his quotes was, someone interrupting your time, like if you're in an office environment and someone says, hey, Joe, can I ask you a quick question? And they bug you, even if it's your boss, doesn't matter who it is. That is the equivalent of someone breaking into your home and going into your bedroom and opening up your underwear drawer where you keep all your underwear and your condoms and your sex toys and all that, your private stuff, your porn if you have it. People don't have porn anymore, I guess, right? That's all online. You get my point. It's that private. It's that personal to your time because you can't replace it. I'm outcome independent. I talk about this on my other channel. So you can say whatever you want to me and insult me. And I won't care. I don't care. You can insult my loved ones. Don't care. I'm not going to pin it. The one thing you can do to upset me, to piss me off, is to waste my time. Because if I waste my time, you've wasted 5 minutes. I never get back ever again. The only thing that will irritate me is you waste my time. Because I guard my time. Most of you aren't guarding your time. Guard your time. Number 3, train your mind. Now, this one gets misconstrued. And I can't put words in his mouth. I can't read his mind and know exactly what he meant by this. but I know enough about this guy. I think I know what he means. When I say train your mind, or when someone like Michael Saylor says train your mind, what most of you lissigs think is read more books and learn more things. No. Most of you lissigs need to stop reading books for a while and get to work. Too many of you read too many books and, learning about new things and reading more blogs and listening to more podcasts. No. Instead, you need to put the book down and get to work. What he's saying by train your mind, I believe, and I could be wrong. Mr. Saylor, if you're out there listening to this or hearing this and I'm wrong, let me know. Sorry, Mikey. I could be wrong. Maybe this is not what he means, but I'm reasonably sure, I'm 70% confident this is what he means. He means is, hang on, training your mind to be a more effective mind. I just did a live stream / podcast last week on my other channel about how I meditate. That's training my mind. Okay. Getting proper sleep, visualizations, solitude. What else do I do to train my mind? Meditation is a big part of that. Refocusing, reframing. Scott Adams, as much as I, criticize him sometimes, he has a big concept about reframing. That's training your mind. When you live in an era of cell phones, mobile phones, smartphones, social media, Twitter, Instagram, dating apps, porn on the internet, all this garbage, you destroy your ability to focus and work, which means you need to bolster your mind to offset that. That's why I talked about how to meditate last week. It expands your focus time. Something else, making goals. Why I talk about setting your mission, your vision, your personal code, your goals, your plans, your quarterly plans. All that is training your mind. Being aware of your mind, being aware of your thoughts. I have a big part of my primary book and other books about emotional control, not getting fucking mad when someone says something you don't like, and catching yourself and taking a few deep breaths and going, wait a minute, is this worth me really getting upset about? Is this, do I need to be doing this? Is this a valuable use of my time? Is this a valuable use of my energy? Giving people power, holding grudges, things like that. I've talked to my wife about this a lot. There's one or two people in her life that she doesn't like, and she holds grudges from things that happened years ago. And I said, sweetheart, you're giving them the power over you. You lose when you hold grudges. This applies to a lot of you. You go to a gathering of someone you don't like. Let's say it's a family gathering or a personal gathering, a bunch of friends or whatever. And there's someone you don't like over the other end of the table. If you're like glaring at that person and just like giving that person a cold shoulder, they win. They've won. What you should do, I've talked to many people about this, including my wife, is you should be smiling and laughing and have a great fucking time and make sure they see you do that. That'll piss them off. You want to make haters really mad on the internet? Totally ignore them and be really happy with your life. That makes them so angry. They want you to get mad like that. Train your mind. Okay. Next one. Number 4, train your body. This one's obvious. I don't need to explain this one. I've talked about how my standard is to exercise hard at least once every 48 hours. I exercise about 4 times a week plus 2 more times right now. I'm finally able to lift weights again. My arms are healed. I'm so fucking happy. Oh my God. Thank God. Train your body within reason. Now, if you want to be a ripped 6-pack abs, Giga Chad, and that's your objective, great, go do that. If you're a guy like me and you're in your 50s or 40s and you want to be, just healthy and functional, you got to do a certain amount of weightlifting, a certain amount of cardio, crap. You got to do it. Okay. And it's one of those things where I've talked about this. This applies to women too. Anti-aging and being healthy, once you're over the age of about 35 to 40, is almost like a part-time job. It just is. Before you're 35, you can do whatever you want. Okay. You can or can't. But if you, I know who Mike Manser is. If you want to, in terms of what to eat, diet, food prep, vitamins, research on what to do, exercise, going to the gym, all that bullshit takes time. Got to do it. It's mandatory. In my other content, it literally is mandatory. And the older you get, the more important it is. especially things like stretching, critical. Okay. As you get older, train your body. You don't want to be successful in life. I know a few people like this. As a matter of fact, I know one person like this personally. I just talked to him 2-3 weeks ago. You don't want to be very financially successful and have this great 5 flags life and be like, have all kinds of health problems or be super fat or you can be a little overweight. I'm talking about fat. There's a difference between overweight and fat. Or you can't bend over and pick up a pen because you go, oh, your back. You can't. I know a lot of guys like this. Or I know guys like this who look good. They got pretty good physiques. I've talked about this many times. 2 guys in particular I know. He and I walk up a flight of stairs, and I run up the flight of stairs. He walks up the flight of stairs, and he's ripped. He's got big muscles, low body fat, and by the time he reaches the top of the stairs, he's like this. He's winded, and I'm not, and I'm overweight. Huh? Right. You don't want to be like that. You don't want to be successful in one area and then have your body suck. It's just not going to work. Doesn't matter if you don't like exercising. Sorry, that's the way it goes. All right. Number 5. Ooh, boy, is this a big one. This is like, one of my core items here. Think for yourself. Now, a lot of you are saying, well, I do think for myself. I don't believe the woke mob. If you thought Donald Trump was going to build a wall back in 2016, you weren't thinking for yourself. Sorry. And yes, if when COVID hit in 2020, you were like, oh my God, we're all going to die. And oh my God, we got to lock everything down. And oh my God, the body bags with space and millions and millions and millions, hundreds of millions of people are going to die over there. You were not thinking for yourself. And if you also thought, oh, the vaccine, if I get the vaccine, I'll die. I'll have ED and my dick won't work. And oh my God, the vaccine and Bill Gates is trying to put robots in me. You were not thinking for yourself. If right now you are hoping that Donald Trump wins, because then America will be okay, you are not thinking for yourself. You are thinking in terms of what? Societal programming. What I've been talking about for since 2014. 10 years now I've discussed the concept of societal programming. You are engaged in what they call group think. Just because you're non-woke does not mean you're thinking for yourself. That's the big misnomer in a lot of right-wingish type people today. Well, they're woke. The woke people are stupid, but I know what I'm doing. I'm thinking for myself. No, you're not. Most of you aren't. There's a few of you that are. Most of you aren't. Think for yourself. This is a very big topic beyond the scope of this, but this gets back to viewing the world as it actually is, not as you hope it will be, think it should be, or was told it is. What it actually is. If I vote for this person and elect this person, this is not the United States, this is any country. If I elect this certain person or party, my country will be okay. This is not viewing the world as it is. This is the view as how you hope it will be. You're not thinking for yourself. And it's hard. I understand stuff. I was like most of you for 30 years. When I finally hit 30, 31, 32, I'd go, okay, wait a minute. All this stuff I'm thinking is not right. I've been trained to think this stuff, but it's not right. I mean, my whole life I was taught Democrats never go to war. And I'm looking around all these Democrats starting all these wars. Bill Clinton, and I'm like, okay. And then I was taught Republicans make government smaller. And I'm seeing all these Republicans massively increase the size of government. I'm like, what the? Long-term marriage will work if you find the right person. And I see all these people getting divorced. Like, okay, wait a minute. And then I started thinking for myself. And as I talk about in the Unchained Man book, which is coming soon, when you start thinking for yourself, you start cleaning out societal programming, it hurts. It's not fun. It's painful because you love your dad. You don't want to say your dad was lying to you your whole life. You love your religion. You take great peace from your religion. You don't want to say that your religion's full of shit. That's so hard. You love your country, or at least maybe what your country was many decades ago. You don't want to think that your country sucks now. That's just, that's hard. So it's painful to start thinking for yourself. But you have to if you want to live a long-term, happy, free life. Michael Saylor is right. Number 6, curate your friends. Now, this is interesting. When you say this, people already go, oh yeah, I'm already doing that. So the old dumb quote you guys have heard 10,000 times, you are the average income of the average of your 4 closest friends. You go, well, yeah, that's right. but then you're still hanging out with losers. What the hell? You know you shouldn't, but you do. It's like people who smoke cigarettes. And most people, at least Americans now, who smoke cigarettes these days, they go, yeah, I know I shouldn't do it. And they're smoking. So I know I shouldn't. I should quit. I really shouldn't do it. A lot of you guys like that with loser friends. Yeah, I shouldn't hang out with him. Yeah, he's a loser. Yeah. Or those of you who have loser girlfriends. You know what? This is even worse with women. So you women out there, I'm seeing more and more about this last few years, including here in Dubai, all countries. You women out there who are like dating loser dudes, I'm seeing a lot of that. What are you doing? That counts as curate your friends. You know, if you're not one of them, you've met these women. She's dating some guy who's decently looking and good in bed, but he's a loser. He has no money. He has no income. He's a jag off. What are you doing? Some of you guys are doing this with women. Some of you guys are hanging out with guys. Caleb, do you limit your friends by income level? I'm an introvert. I don't have a lot of friends I hang out with here in Dubai. But if I did, yes, I would. Are you kidding? Yes. Now, you can have a friend you see once a year. That's okay. I'm talking about friends you're hanging out with on a regular basis. You think I am going to take my time to hang out with friends on a regular basis who make way less money than me? Way less. You can make less, but way less? I am not. I would not. Were you saying I should dump my friends? Yes, motherfucker. That is exactly what I'm saying. You have to dump them. Just don't hang around as much. To be fair, like I said, I have friends who are like long distance in other countries. And, you know, once or twice a year, you talk to them on, you know, Facebook or something. That's okay. It's fine. Well, I don't want to do that because okay, stay poor. Michael Saylor is right. Next one. This is another big one. These are so good. Number 7, curate your environment. Now, do I have it here? Let's see. I don't have it here. I should have had it here for this. A while back in a live stream, I showed you my focus goggles. They're in another room. There are these glasses I made where you put them over my eyes and these little slits. And that way I can't see anything except my screens. So I can't see anything around me. That's my environment. Helps you focus. On my desk here in front of me, I have my laptop, my keyboard, my mouse, this microphone, this big screen, and that's it. Beyond this, I have a window. There's no posters or anything. Now I have some things on the side here. I don't have distractions. I am in a room that is a small room that is 100% an office and nothing else. It's not a bedroom. Those of you who've seen Alex Hormozy, I don't know if he's still doing this, but he was doing this for a while. When he does these videos from his quote office, it's a closet. He works in this little tiny closet. Why does he do that? He doesn't want distractions. So I do the same thing. I don't want distractions, so I curate my environment. I've been fighting losing weight for most of my adult life, most of my life, actually, off and on, off and on. So in my home, in my apartment here in Dubai, there's no food that has any sugar in it or bread or starch. I will tell you what I have in my house for food right now. I just ate before this, okay? Here's what I have. You go through my refrigerator and my cupboards. Here's all the food I have. You ready for this? Cottage cheese, some shredded cheese, broccoli. So fresh broccoli. It's frozen than I thought. So broccoli, frozen blueberries, and those fruit bars I've shown before. It's only 4 ingredients. It's like blueberries, raspberries, cashews, and almonds. It's only those 4 ingredients, nothing else. And it's cold pressed. And I have a little mustard. I don't know why I have it, but I got it. That's it. That's all I've got. I've curated my environment. Because if I had Doritos chips or ice cream or cheeseburgers here, I'd eat them. And they'd be gone in 10 seconds. Nah, I'm exaggerating. I'm much better at this now than I used to be. But that would not be a good idea to have that in my house. I curate my environment. This room next to me here, I'll should do a walk through this apartment. This apartment's nothing exciting, but this room next to me is where I sleep. Okay. There's a big sliding glass door and window. All right. As soon as I moved in, and I showed you this on my old Dubai apartment from a few years ago, I had to walk through that. I have plastered it with blackout. They're called blackout stickers. You get them on Amazon. They're these rolls and it's black. It's like wallpaper and it's sticky on one side and it's all blacked out. So you can't see one little pinprick of light in that entire room. Why? Because that's where I sleep. And one of the most important things in my life is my sleep because I need my energy. Most of you are sleep deprived. 130 million Americans out of 330 are sleep deprived. I'm not going to be sleep deprived, so I curated my environment. It is jet black in that room. It's awesome. And then people come over to my apartment and it looks ugly. And they go, why'd you do that? That's so ugly. Or, yeah, it is ugly. I don't care. I curate my environment. This is a workplace environment. This apartment is an office where I happen to sleep. Talked about that before. Okay? I curate my environment. How do you ask your friends their income level? Point blank? Yes. You think what do I not do point blank? You're talking to me. Yes, I would ask them point blank. Why do you not know how much your friends make? Shouldn't you already know? You already know. How do you avoid sugar when you eat out? Most restaurants dump sugar. That's a topic for another time. But that's the challenge is when you're in a restaurant, you're no longer in a curated environment. You're in their environment. That's a problem eating out. I'm not the expert at losing weight. Talk to someone else about that. Anyway. All right. Next one. I need some water. Hang on a second. We're on number 7. We'll go to number 8. This is one that's often misunderstood. Number 8, keep your promises. So, to me, a core part of keeping your promises, I've talked a lot about this over in my other content, a lot, is that you don't promise a lot. You never promise a lot. I don't promise a lot. Do I say, get the 90-day business builder and you'll be a millionaire? Nope. Do I say, get the 90-day business builder? You'll make $500,000 a year? Nope. I don't say any of that stuff. What I do say is, you'll make several thousand a month pretty quick, as long as you do what we tell you to do, and soon you'll be able to quit your job. That's true. In my personal life, I'm not going to go into detail on my personal life because this is not the time or place for it, or my other channel. I don't make the promises to women that most men make. I'll just say that. We'll talk about that on Wednesday if you do join that live stream. I under-promise. I don't promise a lot. Here's something else. When people say in their personal lives or the workplace, hey, I'm sorry, I promise I'll never do that again. That's a very common thing people say. That's stupid. In most cases, you can't make that promise. If you've been doing something for 20 years, can you just snap your fingers and never do it again? No. So what you should say, and I've said this, you say, I'm really sorry. I shouldn't have done that or I shouldn't have said that. I will work really hard to not do that again. Now, it's a habit I've had for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. I might do it 1 or 2 more times, but I will do my best to catch myself and apologize. I'll work on it. That's a correct promise to make. So much of relationships and business is about over-promising, which is stupid. So the easy way to keep your promises is not promise a lot. Be honest. One of the pieces of my code, my personal code, is I can't lie. I can't tell you something I know is not true. I can be sarcastic. That's different. But I can't lie. So promising, over-promising, I will be married to you forever and I'll never divorce you ever. I'll never be attracted to anyone else other than you forever. Okay. Buy my course and you'll be a billionaire. These are lies. Can't do that. And this is a very common thing on the internet. And then what you do promise, you got to do it. So I'll give you a personal example. Years ago, when I was a much younger man, 30 plus years ago, when I was in my first marriage, those of you who don't know, I was married a long time ago. When I was a young, stupid beta male, I was in my mid-20s, didn't know what the hell I was doing, and I got traditionally monogamously married. And I was married for 9 years. And during that entire 9-year period, even during the bad years toward the end, even when I had opportunity to do so, I never cheated on my ex-wife. Never did it. Never. I'm one of the few men I know can say that. Never cheated on my ex-wife. I wanted to. Boy, did I want to badly. But I didn't. And the reason I didn't wasn't because I'm this moral person, or I'm a Christian, or I took our marriage seriously. No, none of those reasons. No, are you kidding? I was a kid. No, you know why? Because I promised her I wouldn't do it. It was the promise that kept me in that jail. Now today, I don't promise those kinds of things. So if you don't promise as much, it's easier to keep your promises. And then yes, whatever you do promise, you got to do. Now, what happens if you promise something and the landscape changes and you can't keep your promise anymore because of external factors? Then you have a discussion. Hey, I promised you this. These things have changed. I'm going to do my best to make this right, but instead of doing this, I have to do this. Now that doesn't happen very often, but it can. But you don't just blow it off. You need to address it. By the way, this is not about integrity or honor or whatever bullshit societal programming words you would attach to this. This is about long-term happiness. If you're constantly breaking your promises, I know people who've done this. I know people who are like this. I have people in my family like this who just break their promises and break their promises. And now they promise stuff. And you're like, yeah, whatever. It's about your happiness. You will not be happy if you're constantly breaking your promises. You won't. You won't. I've talked about how I've gotten in big trouble by not lying. 2 scenarios in particular, but more than 2, both in my business life and my personal life, where I was asked a question and had I lied, and other people wanted me to just lie and say that, just lie and tell him this, or just lie and tell her that. I'm like, I can't do that. I can avoid to answer the question. I can say I'm not answering that question, but I can't lie. And because I didn't lie, I got in trouble. In 2 cases, big trouble. Or other people got in trouble. People who I cared about. I can't lie. It's part of me. It's a promise I've made to myself. I'll end with that. That component is on keep your promises. There's a statement. I'm going to butcher this. Confidence. No. Self-esteem are the promises you keep to yourself. Keep breaking your own promises, then you feel like a piece of shit. If you promise yourself something and you fulfill it, you feel pretty good. So it's also the promises you make to yourself. Keep the promise you make, which means don't overpromise. Don't say, I'm going to lose 40 pounds next month. It's not going to work. It's an overpromise to yourself. Okay? All right. Number 9. This is a big one. I talk about a lot of this on my other content. Number 9. This is the only one with 4 words instead of 3. Stay cheerful and constructive. Yes. I have an entire section of my books called Emotional Control. Stay cheerful and constructive. When you start yelling and screaming, and when I say yelling and screaming, that includes things you type, because most yelling and screaming today in the modern era are things you type with your fingers on your keyboard, on your phone. So that counts as yelling and screaming. Okay? When you do that, you've lost everything. You've lost. You stop, you take a deep breath, you calm down, you go for a walk if you need to, and you stay cheerful and constructive. He's so good. Cheerful and constructive. Both. Yes. Yes. I have had conversations in my personal life and more conversations in my business life over the past 30 years with people in the room or people on the call who were not cheerful and not being constructive. They were screaming and ranting, yelling and complaining, even if they weren't yelling or raising their voice. I'll be clear about this. When I say screaming and yelling, it doesn't mean you're necessarily raising your voice. You're just bitching and bitching and bitching and bitching and bitching and bitching and bitching, and everything else is the other person's fault. You didn't do anything wrong, right? Or here's a big one. You keep repeating yourself. When people get mad, they keep saying the same things over and over and over. You said that 4 times. You said that. I say it because I catch people on this side. Dude, you said that 4 times. I got it. In the last 10 minutes, you said that 4 times. Sweetheart, you said that 6 times. I understand that. My wife said that a few times. She gets agitated, said the same thing over and over again. That means you've lost. You've lost control of yourself. And you're not solving the problem. You're making the problem worse. When you get upset, when you're not cheerful and constructive, you take the problem you're already having, because this is in context of a problem, right? You make the problem worse. Here's my thing. If you're mad about a problem, be mad by yourself. I've told people this. People I work with, the people in my personal life. If you want to be fucking mad, screaming rant about this person who fucked you over, that company or these people or whatever, great. if you have that little emotional control, at least have enough emotional control to leave the phone call or the Zoom call or the room in the conversation. If it's a physical conversation, physically leave, go home and yell at the wall, scream at the wall, yell at your couch. That's fine. Do all that you want. I talked about how my dad was a psychologist. Okay. And in the 70s, when I was a very little kid, was born in the 70s, raised in the 80s. 70s and early 80s, a big part of pop psychology back then was expressing your anger and yelling at a wall and like punching your couch. And so my dad, I don't know if I've told this story. Hang on. My dad would take his 5 children. I was oldest of 5. He would get this piece of hose, garden hose, a 3-foot long piece of green garden hose. He said, okay, children, what I want you to do is the next time you're really mad, I want you to do this. You have my permission to do this. I want you to take this hose. And he walked over to the couch. Take this hose, and I want you to hit the fucking couch as hard as you can. He didn't say fucking. You hit the couch as hard as you can. He would hit the couch, and you keep hitting it as hard as you can. You yell at the couch, say anything you want, and get all your anger out. Now, that wasn't a good idea. Later, they debunked this, but that was a pop culture psychological thing. My point is, fine. At least, why did he do that? So that way you're directing your anger at the couch and other people. You're not making the problem worse. Or you could achieve the ultimate level of the video game, which not everyone can achieve, and be at my level where you don't get mad. I've talked about this. The last time I got angry was literally 20 years ago. I'm being literal about this. I've been irritated. Yes, I mean angry, where I'm like, God damn it, like many of you get every day. The last time I was really mad, like, fuck, was 2002, 2003, my first marriage. My house was robbed. And my kids were little, and my wife at the time was scared. My kids were scared, and a bunch of stuff was missing. They took my DVD collection and some of my wife's jewelry, and they broke into the house, and it was a big ordeal. I was fucking mad. That was 20 years ago. This is the last time I'm mad. So you can also train yourself to just not get mad in the first place. Something horrible happens, you go, well, that sucks. And you move forward. Now, not everyone can do that. Some people have personalities where that's literally impossible, but you can improve yourself. You can raise 2 or 3 notches in the 1 to 10 scale in terms of the happiness scale. You can do that. Okay. All right. People are saying I had a right to cheat on my ex-wife because she made my life miserable. Not people, one person. Felix, you're wrong. That doesn't matter. What I should have done is just divorce her ass before I divorced her. I could have divorced her way before I did. I should have done that. I did divorce her, but I waited too long. Let's see. Number 10. This one. This one can be also misconstrued, and I'm going to interpret this one. So again, this is one of those things where maybe this is not what he had in mind. I'm pretty sure I know Michael Saylor, his content well enough to know what he meant by this. So number 10 is upgrade the world. Now, what most people would assume when they hear those 3 words is, yeah, vote for Trump and turn America around again and make the world a better place. No, that is not upgrading the world, because that's not an upgrade. As you have noticed, as you figured out back in 2016, did Trump make America great again? No, he did not. So that's not upgrading a goddamn thing. Okay. Upgrading the world in this context means you solve problems for the world via your business. We talked about this. I just had a 9-day business builder session a little bit ago. We talked about this. The only way you can make money long-term, good money long-term, is by solving other people's problems. Or to be more expansive, improving the condition of your client. Improving your customer's condition by solving problems or getting them better results or what have you. There is no other way to make money long-term. There are ways to make money short-term. You can be a liar and a scammer and make a hunk of money in the short term before you're caught, or you go to prison, or you get canceled, or people find out, they start returning all your products and no one wants to buy from you anymore. But long-term, I've been in business on the internet since 2009. Why? Because I've been solving people's problems that long. I'm going to be in business for the rest of my life, never going to retire. So I have become good at solving people's problems. That's how I upgrade the world. And I have several companies, and I have 2 brands on the internet. And both those brands, Sovereign CEO and Alpha Male 2.0, are directly geared to solving people's problems. Directly. Like directly. I've helped solve a lot of people's problems since 2009. A lot. And before that, in my offline companies. That's how you upgrade the world. Instead of political activism and let's vote for these people, let's do this protest, let's make this political movement. No, that doesn't upgrade a goddamn thing. That just pisses you off for no reason and takes you down the wrong path. What are we doing on time here? Oh dear, we're talking a while. That's it. Those are 10. I have another thing to talk about, but I think I'm going to skip that today. Should I skip that today? Yeah, I'm going to skip it today. So let's do a few Q&A, and then I will vominos. Wait, not vominos. I will leave. Vominos isn't correct, as you guys taught me last time. Regarding anger, there's a saying, don't get mad, get even. Yes, I disagree with that. Do you think any forms of revenge are acceptable? No, because it gives them the power. It gives them the power. To hold a grudge gives them the power. Self-defense is different than revenge. Revenge is different. So if someone punches you in the face, you got to defend yourself. That's not revenge, though. That's absolutely warranted. Yes. But no, I'm going to go get that person now. No. The time you spent to go get that person, you could have doubled, quadrupled the quality of your life. It's stupid. And you're giving the other person the power and the authority. That being said, one of my favorite books of all time is The Count of Monte Cristo, which is a pure revenge fantasy. That's all it is. Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, one of the best movies ever made. Okay, pure. So I like it in fiction. Revenge is really fun in fiction. Matter of fact, today in superhero movies is overused. So in fiction, yes. In real life, no. Stupid. You wrong me. I'm not gonna spend the rest 3 years of my life trying to get even with you. What is a better saying? What's the better saying about success is the best revenge? I can tell you that one for a fact. You want to make people who are angry at you or don't like you or wronged you or your haters, you want to make them really fucking mad, get successful and make sure they see it. I've done that. Oh, is it fun? I'm not mentioning any names, and I could. Surpass these people and make sure they see that you've surpassed them, either in income or lifestyle or your personal life or your size of your audience or whatever. Do that. I totally agree with that one. Fuck yeah. Do that, man. Damn. Yep. What do you tell people when they do something you really don't like? I'm not going to pin. I don't care. I've often done that without yelling, but they often get mad. Oh, I've often done that without yelling, but they often get mad and try to say I shouldn't have a problem. Then it annoys me more. I don't spend time with people in my life who regularly do things I don't like. That's it. So as I've talked about over my other content in a dating context, you can put this in a business context or friendship context, which I have. Look, I'm not going to tell you what to do. You can do whatever you want. Because my philosophy is I don't tell anyone what to do. I'm too busy focusing on my shit. You can do whatever you want. However, if you keep doing that, you're welcome to do that, but I'm not going to be spending time with you anymore. I'm going to spend time with other people who don't do that. So decision is yours. That's how you handle it. That's how I handle it. Old Boy is a great fucking revenge. Yes, it is. Have you been able to pinpoint the main reason you have a psychological issue with food? No, the main cause, I have a few root causes. So what did you do to figure that out? A lot of reading books, a lot of thinking about it. The Noom app is very good. A few things from this is all from your childhood. A few things. One is, a lot of this is a combination of nature and nurture. It's a combination of both that causes a certain problem. So when I was a little kid, my parents were very financially strapped. We had very, very little money. We were a family of 7. I was the oldest of 5 kids. And so whenever we had dinner, I remember when I was a little kid, my mom would make a certain amount of food, put it at the middle table, and all my brothers and sisters would all grab at the food. And I remember thinking, there won't be enough for me. I don't know why I thought that. I'm sure that's some aspect of my personality, but I remember thinking this, that I had a scarcity thing about food. So that's part of it. Another thing is that my mom, as many of you know, was a former Catholic nun. Yes, literally, before she married my dad. So when I was little, in the 70s and early 80s, I'm an old man. We were not allowed to eat any sugar. Like any sugar. No, excuse me. We're not allowed to eat any junk food. We could have sugar. So here, my mom didn't understand the difference. Back in the 70s, this was kind of a confusing topic. So my mom would say, you can't have Pop-Tarts, you can't have ice cream, you can't have candy bars, you can't have Hostess Twinkies. Those are the devil. Can't have those. So I was restricted from those foods. But then I go to school and all the kids in my class had all that stuff in their lunches. They'd open up their lunches. They'd have Twinkies and brownies. And I'm like, oh, man. Well, how come I can't have that? So you mix that with the other thing. Also, what's funny about my mom is, and God bless my mom, she would see, I say things like God bless because I grew up in a Catholic environment. You don't believe that stuff. She would say, no Pop-Tarts, no junk food. Junk food is bad. But we had pancakes for breakfast every morning, and you dump the syrup on the pancakes, and that was fine with her. Sure, have a stack of 16 pancakes and dump the syrup on there and slather it with butter. And pancakes is bread. That's just shit food. That was fine. But don't have a Pop-Tart. That's bad for you. So things like that. And everyone has different environments they were raised in and different personalities. And now here's the thing. I was raised with 4 other kids. Okay. So what's interesting is there's me. I have a sister right below me who is the one I've talked about, who is like 400 pounds. She is so fat. She can barely walk upstairs. She can't stand just to sit down to talk to you. She's massive. I have another sister who's really skinny and pretty. How'd that happen? Different personality. She clicked somewhere differently than that. She got chubby when she was little and then she lost it all. I have 2 brothers, okay, who are tall and skinny. What the fuck? So it's not just nature or just nurture. I think it's a combination of those 2 things. Your ex-wife is probably punching the air right now. No, my ex-wife is very, very unhappy. She's not punching any air. Trust me. Again, success is the best revenge. Caleb from Canada, and the economy is on its last legs. That is correct. This year, maybe last year, it's sustainable. I don't know about that. But yes, Canada, get the fuck out of Canada. Just talking to someone who I like a lot, successful business owner. He's getting the fuck out. Finally. I've been telling him, get the fuck out. He's finally doing it. Do you think moving to the States for a cat? No. Moving to the States for a cash. Do you think moving to the States for to cash in before the West is a good idea? No, you don't move from one frying pan to another frying pan. That's fucking stupid. America's collapsing too. Why would you do this? Same people say, I'm going to move from America to the UK to practice moving out, and then I'll move to it. No, if you're going to leave the country, go somewhere better. Stupid. To cash in before leaving the West is a good idea. No, I think that's a terrible, terrible idea. Cash in by leaving the West. You know how much more money I make than I live in Dubai outside of the West? I don't live in the West. You know how much more money I've made since I moved to Dubai, net after taxes? Woo! Bro, get out of the collapsing West. What's up, Uncle C? Love the transparency, the brutal truth. You're very welcome. I'm pretty transparent. You may have heard of frogs, tasks you really don't want to do. Brian Tracy, one of my mentors, his book, Eat That Frog, correct. So even if you have to protect your time and are able to focus, how do you push the tasks that you sort of dread, such as making cold calls? What Brian Tracy said, first fucking thing in the morning. Today, I had to do something social media related, not YouTube, that I dread. I hate doing this. I hate it. I don't know. I don't dread it. I don't like it. And I've been putting it off for a few days. And people on my team like, Caleb, we're waiting for this. What the hell are you doing? I'm like, yeah, I know. Okay. So what I did is last night I put it up on all of my screens and I went to bed. And as soon as I sat down here, I immediately got to work and did it. I didn't check my email. I didn't check my comments. I didn't do my other stuff. Check my bank accounts, which is stuff I usually do. I do it any more routine. I sat down. I got that fucking thing done. And now it's done. It's not completely done, but it's done enough for the day where my team is satisfied. I got more to do. That's how you do it. That's it. That's it. By punch there, I mean she's mad you're winning out there. Oh, I got it. Yes. Now, I don't think she's still mad about that. We've been divorced for almost 20 years. I think she's gotten over it. But for 5 or 6 years, yeah, she was mad. Yes. She doesn't care about me now. It was a long time ago. My kids now are, adults. We were going to do a Christmas thing where Pink Firefly and myself would go to an event with my ex-wife because my mom will still invite my ex-wife to family things because we share a daughter. My daughter's there. And Pink Firefly was like, I don't know if I want to be there with your ex-wife because she glares at me and she's scary. And she is. I said she glares like that everyone, sweetheart. She goes, no, she glares at me. I said, well, yeah, because you're hot. You know, you're the hot second trophy wife, sweetheart. And of course she's glaring at you. Oh God. Would you consider this an Alpha 2.0 business? I'm selling a product with minimal overhead that has a markup of 300%. I do this from any country. Technically, that is an Alpha 2.0 business. 300% is the lowest I would go. So I would do everything in your power to jack up that 300% with either changing the price or changing the supplier or upsells of higher margin products or add-on services or something. 300% is acceptable in my world, but that's the bare 3-to-1 is a bare minimum, dude. So, but yeah, technically it is. It is. Bro, do you think the U.S. is going to overthrow the Venezuelan government? No. Now that they're trying to take oil territory from Guyana where American countries are vested? No. One of the few things, not few things, I shouldn't say this. One of the things where Peter Zeihan is correct is that America is probably going to be less warmongery going into the next phase of the collapse. He's probably right about that. I don't think America is going to flex its muscle quite as much as it has because it can't fucking afford it. I've just done writing a few weeks ago, writing a new section of my updated book. And I talk about how people think, especially right-wingers, America will never be defeated in a war. So if we go to war against China, we'll fucking kick ass. We'll win. If we go to war against Putin, I mean, we're America. America. We have the greatest military in history of the world. America. Fuck yeah. Here's the problem. Militarily, America can't be defeated, but it can be defeated in a war because of finances. See the Roman Empire. So if America goes to war, very risky. America could easily lose and probably will, not because of military might, but because the finances involved, the financial factors. It could lose financially, fiscally in a big war. So the answer is no, it will not. Is this a good time to invest in Venezuela? If you're able to. Most Americans are not able to, but you're able to? Yes. Caleb, you're a menace. I sure am. The airports in the U.S. are failing. Hopefully I'll be able to leave without the planes crashing. What? That's not going to happen. I plan to be out by early 25 and never coming back. Good. Awesome. Hey, I come back occasionally, but my son, I'm talking about my son, he's never coming back. He has never stepped foot back in the United States ever again. I don't blame him. In the history books, they call this phase the fall of the American. This phase we called the fall of the American civilization. Correct. That's an accurate term. It's the fall of Western civilization, but America is the core of that. That's true. Yeah, that's right. That's why, America goes down. Canada's going to go right with it. UK's fucked. Germany's fucked. France is not as fucked, but it's fucked. Most of Scandinavia is fucked. I mean, yeah, it's all fucked, dude. In Asuncion, Paraguay, a little pricey to fly in and out of compared to other South American countries. Depends where you're flying from. Where you're flying from? I don't know where you're flying from. From the United States, just from distance? Sure. From the U.S.? Yeah, it's cheaper. If you're in the U.S., cheaper to fly to Mexico because it's closer. Just look at a map. But outside of the distance, no, it's not more pricey. I found, I'm so excited about this. I was just talking to one of my friends in Paraguay about this. There is now a flight, for those of you interested in Paraguay. There's Asuncion and there's Ciudad del Este. There's only 2 cities in Paraguay, okay? 90% of your life will be in Asuncion, right? So Ciudad del Este, a city I wanted to visit for years, but I haven't been able to. I don't want to because it's a 6-hour bus ride. There's no plane. There's no train. It's Paraguay. They don't have that stuff. There's now a flight you can get if you're lucky, if you book it way super in advance, and it's like, $50 US, and you can fly to Ciudad del Este from Asuncion. Oh, awesome. And it's like 40 minutes. Cool. So when I hit Paraguay this year, I'll be there for at least 2 months, maybe 3. I'm going to Ciudad del Este. I can't wait. I'm going to cross over to Brazil and go to the waterfalls, all the stuff I wanted to do that I am not going to sit in a bus with no internet connection for 5 hours twice. Again, I guard my time. But now I can hop on a plane, 40 minutes, I'm there, 40 minutes, come back. Awesome. I'm so excited. Can't wait. Can't wait to get back to Paraguay. Right now, enjoying perfect Dubai air and weather. Very happy right now. But when this starts getting shitty, Paraguay. And coming soon, I'm going to Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan. Really soon. More updates on that. Let's see. If the average follower of your content decided they wanted to get the fuck out of the West today, how long does it take people to escape on average? There's no average because it depends on the resources of the individual. So a young guy with a bunch of money in savings can be out in a month. A guy who's 50, who has a wife and 2 kids, that's going to take some time. So it depends. Depends on your scenario. You can be out within a few weeks. I was just talking today about some people residencies here in Dubai. You can fly to Dubai. Now, that's a little tricky to do this. So we sell a residency service, how to get your residency to Dubai. But if you're willing to put up with a bunch of bullshit, certain countries, you can fly to Dubai, you get your visitor's visa, either on arrival if you're a Western country, not a Western country, you pay a little fee. And then you go sign up with this company that sort of lies and says that you work for them, and you do, but they pay you like $1 a month or something, and you have to get paid from someone else. You have to report your thing to the government, and you get a 3-year work visa, 3-year residency. So yeah, I mean, you could do that, and you could do that in 20 days. www.caleb.top, www.caleb.top/go. You can have an Armenia residency if you use one of our services within 25 days. You can have a Dubai residency within 2 weeks. You have your Mexico residency within a few months, and Paraguay residency within a few weeks to months. Doesn't take very long. Of your 5 flags, which is the best culture, ethos, laws to conduct viable and profitable business? Of my 5 flags? What do you mean? Of the 4, I don't understand what countries you're referring to. Of the 4 countries that we do residencies in, or my 5 flags? I assume you mean my 5 flags? Dubai. Define a collapse, going down to third world status. No, I do not believe that'll happen. You need to go on my YouTube channel, Sovereign CEO, and type in what will happen. It'll bring up a video of what will actually happen. There are 6 possible scenarios. Watch that video, go through it in detail. What happened with Billy? What happened with Billy? I don't know what happened. Talking to Billy right after this, actually. So you're still working on a blog, gathering all the data hypothesis to what now? So you're still working on a blog, gathering all the data research to support the hypothesis that the U.S. is headed in collapse, so it's all in one place. No, I'm not working on it. The work is done. I have all the research. I just have to sit down. It's not a blog, it's a video. I just got to go in there with my little magic, my electronic whiteboard and just do the video. I just kind of try to do it. Your flags and residencies. Let's see. Yeah, Dubai. In terms of doing business, Dubai. Yeah. And America is still an environment to do business. It's just you're going to get taxed a lot and regulated a lot. So if you're careful, America too. Armenia is okay. Paraguay is not much going on. Mexico is decent, but improving. Hong Kong is good. Hong Kong's still good for business. It's getting more insular now, but all right, let me take a drink. I can answer a few more questions, and then I'm gonna take off, and I'll see some of you on Wednesday if you want to do the Alpha 2.0 live stream. Is your new Unchained Man book without the course the same prices as before? I don't know yet. It'll be similar. I bought the old one a few months ago. The old one was what, $7? It'll probably be more than $7. But it's a book. I'm not going to charge $100. It's a book. I don't know, $10, $20. I don't know. Don't know. For just the book without the audiobook, I don't know. Without the course. Yeah, because there's a course too. Thanks for your content watching from the Philippines. What time is it over there? Are you up in the middle of the night? That's pretty rough over there, the time zone, right? It's like 2 a.m. there, right? Philippines is awesome. Good flag for a lot of you. Not one of my flags, but it's a good flag. Nice and cheap. They like Westerners. Pretty good location. It's sort of Southeast Asia, which is the only growth region in the world. So not bad. Big fan of the Philippines. 3 a.m. I knew it. Yeah, shit. Well, I appreciate you staying up that late. That's pretty cool, dude. Love it. Have you ever had a copyright issue? No, I've not. Constantly worried about this, but don't have the legal budget right now. 2% rule. Would you still do business in China given the current tariffs? Depends on the scenario. Absolutely, but depending on the scenario. Are there better markets? Are there better markets than China? Depending on what? Depends on what. China is a huge fucking market, and it grows because you have millions of people leaving the countryside, getting into the cities still. So it's still a big market and a growth market. I don't like tariffs though, but you don't always have tariff problems depending on what you're selling. I still have my agenda to write a version of the Unchained Man, the Unchained Chinese Man. That is still a project on my project list I'm going to do someday. Don't know when, but it's going to get done because there's a billion of them, and not just in China, Hong Kong, Singapore, Taiwan, China, right? A lot of Chinese men out there. Is there such thing as a dating flag? Yes, there is. And could I pick a European country for it? Yes, you can. You can have a dating flag. I've mentioned this. I call it a personal flag. Yes, you can have a dating flag. Absolutely. You can. And women can do this too, by the way. I know at least 2 who have dating flag countries. But usually it's a guy thing, yeah. Yes, you can certainly pick a European flag as a dating flag only. Yes, you certainly can do that. Hey guys, I used Caleb's service to get Dubai residency back in November. It was super easy, and I learned some good stuff from him in small group coaching sessions. Cool, dude. Love it. Oh, I know you are. Awesome, dude. Yeah. We just had 3 more people in my audience who've done some of my programs move to Dubai. So one person just is getting here next week. I'm meeting with him next week. He's super pumped. A whole bunch of people are now moving to Dubai. So more people moving to Paraguay. So because of me, got a whole bunch of people moving to Paraguay and some people moving to Dubai, including from the United States. The governments of Paraguay and the United Arab Emirates need to get me some kind of cutback, some kind of kickback. I mean, like a 5% commission on the people I'm giving them, because the people in these countries are, especially Dubai, are heavy hitters. They're people with money, and so hey, man, where's my cut? Where's my commission? Where's my 20%? 20%. Are there not going to be another Business Badassery Unchained podcast? Probably not, because that's up to Billy. I mentioned that before. Probably not. It depends on her schedule. What I want to do is bring her in for segments for this live stream. I'd rather do that, but she might, and then she might do her own. She can do what she wants. Why is Portland worse now than a few years ago? Oh my God, are you kidding me? I was just there. Oh, I haven't been there in about a decade. It's a whole different city. So last time you were there in 2014, you won't even recognize it. Homelessness. You go downtown and all the glass windows, there's no glass downtown anymore. It's all boards. Everything's boarded up. There's glass up high, but on the ground floors, it's all wooden boards, because people keep smashing the glass. Homeless people everywhere. Trash everywhere. Every freeway, there's trash and homeless people on the sides. It's disgusting. And what's sad is, Portland for many decades, including when I was a younger guy, was one of the top livable cities, A, in the United States, and B, in the world. For decades, Portland made the top 10 or top 5 most livable cities lists. Portland, Oregon. It was amazing. Now it's a shithole. Yep. That's what happens. You vote for lesser of the 2 evils. Lesser of 2 evils, 35 years, Americans. That's what happens. Women, Kenya and Jamaica is my guess based on documentaries. Women with men dating. Oh, no. Kenya or Jamaica? No. The whole world is a woman's dating flag. That's very cute. You should do Business Badassery again. I agree. I've been trying to rope her into that for a long time. All right. I'm going to let you guys go. What's your favorite Netflix series? I don't, because TV shows suck now. They're terrible. What's a good TV show in the last few years? Boy, I can't think of one. Let me think a minute. Everything sucks, dude. TV's movies suck. Let me think a minute. I can think of one. Reacher, but that's not Netflix, right? Is that Amazon? Reacher is decent. Even Reacher's got some problems. It's decent. That's a decent show. All right. Peaky Blinders. American Gods? No. Woke. Peaky Blinders, I haven't really seen that. So okay, maybe. Jeez. Now that you mentioned, by the way, you mentioned Billy was hilarious. You said that one of your, guys try to have sex with Billy all the time. Yeah. You could like only season 1 of Altered Carbon. Nope, I would not. I watched it and that was fine. It wasn't good. I couldn't last about 4 episodes. TV sucks now, guys. Sorry. I know that's hard, but it sucks. TVs and movies both suck. If you want good TV shows, you got to watch stuff from like the 90s, the early 2000s, the 80s, the 70s. Okay. Then that's some good TV. There's some shit there too. Go watch Star Trek Deep Space Nine. It'll blow you away. I'll end with this. I watched last year on the plane. Where did I watch this? I don't have a lot of time to watch movies or anything. Yeah, anime is okay because anime is not Western. Godzilla -1 was fantastic because it's not Western. Non-Western stuff is great. I'm talking about Western stuff. What movie am I thinking of? Oh, Pulp Fiction. Just on a whim, I saw a few clips on YouTube. I'm like, let's watch Pulp Fiction again. And I watched this movie and like, oh my God, this is good. I've forgotten what good movies look like and feel like. Every scene is good. You're like, oh my God. But that was like 1992. That's how far back you got to fucking go. Everyone is lowering their standards to mediocre stuff that isn't as horrible as me. Right. I wrote an entire article about that at the Caleb Jones blogs, not the Black Dragon blog, a few years ago, when The Mandalorian came out, the first season, and the movie The Joker, because they came out at the same time and people had the same reaction. Everyone said, these are awesome. Joker is awesome. Joker is a ripoff of 2 other movies, Taxi Driver and King of Comedy. Blatant ripoff. It's fine, but it's not awesome. Mandalorian is very average. Mandalorian was the first thing you had seen in Star Wars that wasn't horrible. So you thought it was awesome. Mandalorian's awesome. It saved Star Wars. I said, no, it hasn't. Things are so bad that mediocre things you now think are good, like Joker and Mandalorian and many other things. What was the other one? The Witcher, first season of The Witcher. It's awesome. No, it's not. It wasn't awesome. It was okay. It was mediocre. You think it's awesome because you're used to shit. So now people who, this goes right back to Trump and Biden. Mediocre is like awesome now because everything sucks so bad. I mean, that's it. Maybe my mind is corrupted. Yeah, it's corrupted by a bunch of crap. You're used to a whole pile of cultural crap now. It's all crap. Every few years, you get a Top Gun Maverick. Whenever I say movies suck, there's what about Top Gun Maverick? That's one movie. Yeah. 10, 15 years ago, and I was a movie buff, movie nerd. 10, 15 years ago, there were 25 to 35, sometimes 40 movies that were good that year. And I couldn't wait to see them. Now you got to wait 1 or 2 years to get one good movie. One. Well, Dune was good. Okay, there's one. See my point? It's gone to one good movie a year instead of 40 a year or 25 or 35 a year. I mean, I used to buy like 30, 40 new movies a year because they were good. I don't buy any movies now. They all suck ass. TV shows too. So you say, what are my favorite TV shows? The ones that came out 35 years ago when TV was okay. Go watch Lost. Best TV show ever made was Lost. Not perfect. There were some problems, especially at the very end. Best TV show ever made. Blow you away. Watch Lost and don't look up anything about it if you've ever seen it. You want to watch a really cool TV show? I'll end with this. I keep saying with it. I got to go. Go watch Lost, but don't look up anything about it. Don't spoil anything. There's a lot of secrets. Just start watching Lost. Go get to the first season. You'll be like, holy shit, this is great. And it gets better. Most TV shows start out pretty strong and most TV shows, the first season's okay. And then it gets shitty and then it gets good. Lost gets better and better. The third season's not that great. But the first season, second season, fourth season, fifth season are amazing. Lost wasn't that good. Fuck yeah, it was good. Lost was amazing. Breaking Bad was amazing. Yes, Breaking Bad was one of the last good shows. Breaking Bad is that same era as the first few seasons of Game of Thrones. Breaking Bad, fantastic. First 4 seasons of Game of Thrones. 4. Not up to season 7. People think that season 8 was stupid and the rest were great. No. Starting in season 5, Game of Thrones started to suck ass. It was terrible in season 5. Nothing happened for the whole season. And Arya gets stabbed 14 times in the stomach and then she's fine the next episode. Wait a minute. The wife of that one king dude, she got stabbed like that. She died. Why does Arya get it sucked? But the first 4 seasons back around, Breaking Bad was good. That was the last era of good TV. So like what? Mid 2000 teens, somewhere in there. Yeah. All right. Don't get me on a rant about shitty crap on TV shows and movies and shit. All right. I got to go. I will see you guys very soon. I'll see you guys at Alpha 2.0 if you're interested in that topic on Wednesday. Have fun. Bye.